Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
with my
Ay, oo
doggy.
nga pala, speaking of, I know marami ka namang, alam kong marami kang pera, pati pots. Pero hindi, may pot kasi kaming nakuha from GMK. I'll just give it to you. Hindi ko nasabi din kay Pauline pala.
Anong klaseng pot? Pakilinaw. As in, paso?
Paso, panghalaman. Ano akala mo? Ano pang may ibang pabang?
Meron!
Oo, nililinaw ko lang.
Thank you to the ladies of
For
the
the
big
farm.
story. That was a great show. And, panghalaman kasi.
At least klaro. Okay.
Thank you to Cesar, Sean, and to Pauline tonight. Bumalik sa akin. No? We've got the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder looking ahead to their showdown in the NBA Finals. Plus, we get updates on both the Las Filipinas men's and women's teams.
And we tell you about Filipino boxing icon Donito Donaire's first fight in 2 years.
Wow, first Manny and now Nonito. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Lituncalaw.
And there's tonight's play-by-play.
Puts it on. On the left side. Oh, stopping another one. Bakunas rejecting Esteban for the
In just 4 more days, the biggest series in the NBA playoffs will finally tip off. It's the Indiana Pacers against the Oklahoma City Thunder going head-to-head in the NBA Finals, and the Pacers may just be the underdogs here as they face a team that had the best record in the league during the regular season. But Indiana head coach Rick Carlisle knows his team will be ready for their latest challenge. Coach Carlisle is no stranger to the NBA's grandest stage. As a player, he was part of the Boston Celtics squad that won the 1986 championship. And as a head coach, he guided the Dallas Mavericks to the 2011 crown, facing LeBron James and the Miami Heat. In Carlisle's 6th overall finals appearance, his Pacers are facing a menacing Thunder crew that is historically great on both sides of the floor. But the experienced mentor is not backing down from the daunting task ahead. After eliminating the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, the decorated tactician even used the word unfortunate.
This is the 6th time that I've been to an NBA Finals, 3 as a player, 1 as an assistant coach, 2nd time as a head coach. This is no time to be popping champagne. And you know, when you get to this point of the season, you know, it's 2 teams and it's one goal. And so you know, it becomes an all or nothing thing. And we understand the magnitude of the opponent. Oklahoma City has been dominant all year long, with capital letters in the word dominant. Defensively, they're, you know, historically great, and they got all kinds of guys that can score. It's 2 teams that have similar structures, you know, slightly different styles, but Oklahoma's playing faster this year, and so I think it has the makings of a great series. To me, it's from a coaching perspective, it's 2 teams that are fun to watch and fun to watch compete. So.
Just like their coach, the Pacers' 2 best players understand the magnitude of the battle that lies ahead. In the East playoffs, Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton balled out and lived up to the billing as Indiana's main stars. This culminated in the conference finals, where the 2 of them finished 1st and 2nd in the MVP votings for the series. After averaging 23 points a game, Spicy P was awarded the Larry Bird Trophy as the East Finals MVP. Hallie was not too far behind as he tallied 21 markers, 6 rebounds, and 10 dimes a night through the 6-game series. The 2 elite Cagers acknowledged that they would have to be at their best once again as they face the Thunder in the NBA Finals.
We got a team out there that's waiting for us. That's serious, you know, and they're the best team in the NBA. So I think that, you know, like, that's the challenge. And I was telling the guys, I mean, like, for me, you know, I got there when I was in year 3, and I thought I would get back there a lot, and it didn't happen. So it's a hell of an opportunity, and you don't know when you're going to get it again. So I think we have to, you know, have a mindset of going out there and you know, at the end of the day, like just giving everything that we got and knowing that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, it's special, man. Obviously, when we brought him here, you know, we envisioned, you know, doing something like this, doing something special, and you know, it's just really special that he's been here. He's been like a big brother for me, somebody that I can really trust, somebody that I can really lean on to talk to, and just somebody who can always keep me steady. And you know, this is an exciting time. You know, but we understand that there's a long road ahead, you know, a lot more work to do. But yeah, it's really special, you know, to do this. And we just talked about, man, this is what we got together to do, you know, to do something special. And we're part of it right now. We're doing something special. And like I said, we got 4 more to go.
OKC head coach Mark Daigneault is not about to take any chances, even if the Thunder are the heavy favorites here in the NBA Finals. After a stellar regular season, the Thunder pretty much breezed through 2 of the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. In the first round, they swept the Memphis Grizzlies. Then in the second, they survived a gritty 7-game showdown against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Then in the Western Conference Finals, OKC knocked out the athletic and explosive Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves in just 5 games. But as great as the Thunder have looked, Coach Daigneault is not writing off their finals opponents who have been on a dominant playoff run of their own.
First of all, congrats to Indiana for making the finals. A lot of respect for their team, how they've done it, and the run that they're on right now. So obviously a tall task for us. Today we practiced. It was our first full team practice in a couple days. A lot of that was just to focus on us, our fundamentals, the things that are going to be important, you know, every game, independent of opponent. We did some thematic things with Indiana today, but it's a little too early, I think, to start getting really deep into them. We'll do that as we get closer to the game. Right now, we're just trying to get ourselves, you know, back and get ourselves primed up. We try to get all the information we can on all the opponents. Certainly, having played against them is information. We were not whole in those games, and so some of those are contextual. There's always scheduling context as well. I mean, I don't know what the context was, but one of the teams could have been playing, you know, their 7th game in 11 days or something like that. So we learn a little bit from it, but we don't overreact to it.
Besides having the MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the main driving force behind the Thunder's run to the NBA Finals is their spectacular team defense. The Thunder have been beating their opponents with decisive runs, fueled by a series of defensive stops. OKC has turned close contests into blowouts in the blink of an eye. Ahead of the finals, all-defensive first-team member Lou Dort, as well as big man Isaiah Hartenstein, spoke about their roles in their upcoming battle with the Pacers.
You know, I know I'm a pretty good defender, and then I feel like I've been able to adjust to, you know, really all the type of defense that, you know, we had to work on and I would have to do on the court. So, you know, they all are different challenges, obviously, but you know, I feel like whenever I watch film and I prepare, you know, I feel like we as a team can do anything on the court, especially on that side of the floor. And, yeah.
I think early on it was finding a role. I mean, finding how I can help the team out. I think a lot of players come in the league, they try to be superstars, they try to be kind of score-first guys. And for me, it was trying to figure out how can I get minutes, how can I help teams win, and I think that was one of the things I saw I could do really good. But also took a lot of film. I watched a lot of Draymond Green, how he got guys like Steph and all those guys open, but then also got multiple different stars in my career. I mean, it started with James Harden, St. James Harden, CP. They taught me a lot, just setting screens, how to get guys open, how to go that. Then after that was PG. After that, Jalen Brunson. So I think I've just had the opportunity to play with a lot of stars, a lot of different kind of style of stars. And now I kind of know how to adjust, how to make guys' lives easier. And yeah, I think I do a unique job of that, especially in the NBA.
Coming up, Alas Pilipinas women have released the official lineup for the AVC Women's Nations Cup. Find out who made the cut when play-by-play returns only here on One News.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play-by-Play only on One News. The Alas Pilipinas women's team is ready to light up the international stage once again.
Head coach Jorge De Brito has confirmed the 16-woman roster for the AVC Women's Volleyball Nations Cup. A mixture of youth and experience here with the explosive scoring trio of Bella Belen, Angel Canino, and national team debutant Shaina Netura headlining the lineup. They join fellow standout spikers Ea Laure, Vanny Gandler, Alyssa Solomon, and Leila Cruz. Orchestrating the attack are team captain Gia de Guzman as well as Julia Coronel and two-time UAAP best setter Lams Lamina.
On defense, co-captain Don Macandili Katindig and Jen Nierva will once again lead floor coverage for the squad. And at the net, we've got middle blockers Thea Gagate, Fifi Sharma, Del Palomata, and FEU sophomore Clalo Resco. The ABC Nations Cup marks the first tournament in a busy year for Alas women as they prepare for the 33rd Southeast Asian Games or SEA Games happening in Thailand this December. As for the Alas Filipinas men's team, well, they've had a busy schedule of their own, both on and off the court in New York City.
How have these past few days been for the national men's volleyball team? Let's find out from One Sports correspondent Carlo Pamintuan. He is reporting to us live from New York. Hi, Carlo.
Hey, Andre. Hi, Jessica. Thank you for having me here.
Carlo P., good evening from Manila. Good morning there.
Thank you for joining us on the show. Carlo, first off, can you give us a rundown of the events? What have Alas men been up to there in New York?
All right. It has been...
Carlo? Okay, we'll try to...
We'll try to get him
obviously,
back.
yeah, because of technical difficulties, he is in New York in the US right now. It's 8:44 a.m. Alam mo naman natin na nagkakaproblema because of unseen, unfortunate circumstances because of siguro Wi-Fi then data. But we'll try to get back to Carlo Pamintuan once again. One Sports correspondent, Carlo P., is in New York City in the U.S. We've been talking, I remember on Friday, we talked to Dip Pianco.
Dip and Boom.
About the
Lots of
NBA
things
naman.
Happening in New York.
Yes.
But all right, let us move on to this next story. The 2025 Palarong Pambansa may be over, but the memories and milestones still stand out. Those include a golden finish for Western Visayas in Sepak Takraw after toppling Caraga in the secondary boys final. Let's take a look at how that match unfolded in this report.
High-flying kicks, lightning-fast rallies, and gravity-defying skills. Get ready for some jaw-dropping action that will leave you at the edge of your seats here at the Sepak Takraw finals of the secondary boys. It was a thrilling showdown between Western Visayas and Caraga, with both teams showing grit, passion, and unrelenting drive. Each region claimed a regu early on, setting the stage for a decisive third. The third regu was truly a nail-biter, with both sides taking a set apiece, and it all came down to the final stretch. Every moment mattered, and while Caraga showed flashes of brilliance, it was Western Visayas who held firm, powering through the final moments to clinch the gold. For Gian Frederick Arellano and Rizal John Magno, the victory was especially sweet. After 9 long years since Western Visayas last held the top spot in Sepak Takraw, they shared how much sacrifice and hard work it took to bring gold back home.
Nag-training po kami ng sobrang tagal. Pinaghirapan po namin lahat para makuha kung anong merong skills na meron kami at ma-improve ang talent na binigay sa amin. At nagtulungan po kami para makuha namin ang aming pangarap na magka-gold sa Palarong Pambansa.
Sakripisyo, lahat ng ginawa namin na training, hindi kami nagbigay sa training, tapos ngayon binigay sa amin champion. Thank you!
Our journey to Palaro is not an easy one, it's not an easy joke. Marami kaming pinagdaanan, away, hindi pagkakaintindihan, Pero everything really paid off. Pero siguro yung key points namin, yung strategy siguro namin, prayer talaga. Nakita nyo man kanina, hindi na ako nag-advise sa kanila. Sabi ko, prayer na lang, we commit everything to God. And everything is possible talaga. So, we're champion.
Nagpapasalamat din ako sa Alimuja National Comprehensive High School, sa aming principal, Sir Omar Tubin, sa aming sports coordinator, Ma'am Jeredette Anas, na walang sawang suporta sa amin, sa aming Mayor Kenneth Alfeche, tsaka kay Vice Kalay Alunsabe at sa mga SB members na tumulong at sumuporta sa amin Western Visayas team.
Una Visayas! Manao! Pasko! 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 Win! 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 Win!
Reporting from the 2025 Palarong Pambansa, this has been Bea Escudero.
Coming up, a boxing icon isn't done yet. At 42 years old, Donito Donaire is lacing up the gloves one more time for one final title shot. More details when play-by-play returns. Stick with us.
You're watching Play-by-Play only here on One News. Welcome back to the show. As we mentioned earlier, one of our news items, the Las Filipinas men's team have had a very busy schedule of their own, like the women's, but both on and off the court in New York City.
How have these past few days been for the national men's volleyball team? Joining us once again is One Sports correspondent Carlo Pamintuan. He is reporting to us live from New York. Carlo?
Hi, Cheska. It has been very busy, but a lot of fun for our Las Filipinas men's squad here in New York City. It all started when they visited the Consul General in the Philippine Consulate here in New York. It was an amazing experience for the entire squad, just to see the consul, see the people there, making sure that all of our immigrants, all of our OFWs are in a good position here in New York City. It was also very tearful because a couple of our members of the squad, and Coach Tom, one of our assistants, and JP Bugawan got to reunite with their moms. Coach Tom hasn't seen his mom in 3 years, while JP Bugawan waited 9 long years to be able to have this reunion with his mom. So everything that happened was tearful for New York. Another thing that happened right after that was there was a tryout for members of the squad who will be competing in a tune-up match against Alas Filipinas from Phil Nation. We had a tryout, of course, led by our coaches to see who will be included in the team that will test out our squad in their lone practice game here in New York City. The day after, we had a training camp. We had a clinic for a bunch of kids, a bunch of Filipino kids here in New York, and I'm sure it was an amazing experience coming from them because you get to train alongside Brian Bagunas and Mark Espejo and Jao Mandal and Owa Retamar. They enjoyed, they had fun, and after that, they were treated to an amazing match between Phil Nation and our Alas Pilipinas squad. At first, the national team was a bit tentative because they did not know how good the other players will compete, how well that the other team has prepared. But when they saw that they want to make a name for themselves, I think some of them want consideration to be recruited, maybe for colleges or club teams in the Philippines, maybe even consideration for the national team. That's why they gave it their all. And after that, the competition just grew and we were treated to an amazing match. That was, of course, won by our Alas Pilipinas men's squad, but they had to get it. They had to really fight for it against the selection that competed against them here in New York.
Carl, kamustahin din natin. I remember your conversation with Pauline on the big story on Friday na nandun din for the nandyan yung Philippine team for the Philippine Independence Day Parade. Tell us more about the event, Carl.
Yes, that actually happened yesterday.
Yeah.
There were, I think, more than 100 groups that were going to parade through Madison Avenue here in New York, and Alas Pilipinas was one of the very last. No? Nandun kami dun sa pinakadulo nung parada. There was a fun moment where one of the guests here, si Martin Rivera, actually joined our float. No? Sumama sa amin, tapos yung buong team, yung ibang coaching staff, kumanta pa ng Be My Lady kasabay ni Martin Rivera. It was an amazing, surreal experience because you get to see all the people from New York, all the Filipinos here, and from neighboring cities. New Jersey, syempre marami ring nanggaling. They were all there lining up the streets to show love to not just Alas Filipinas, of course, but to the Filipino culture dito sa New York City. The parade was emotional in a sense because you get to see all of the older Filipinos here, di ba? Yun yung pagbibigay ng respeto. Actually, I had a conversation with a local, with a New Yorker. Sabi niya, why Filipinos seem to be so parang respectful to their grandparents and whatnot, because she saw a lot of them wearing full attire, di ba? Bihis na bihis, sobrang naka-makeup pa, tapos pumaparada. Sabi niya, other people might just leave them alone or in homes, pero sa atin hindi. We celebrate our elders, we celebrate our culture, and it was I think one experience that will be memorable for all the players involved, because all the players, aside from the Americans, this is their first time to visit the United States, and to be included in that parade, to be celebrated like that, and to actually get an opportunity to ask for support from the Filipino community, maybe convince some of them to fly home this September and watch our men's team perform. Napakalaking bagay yun, di ba? Just to establish that connection between our volleyball team and the fan base here in New York.
Carl, as always, thank you for your time. I know it's pretty cold there, roughly 16 degrees. Stay safe, and we'll check back on you in the next few days. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Carlo.
One sports correspondent, Carlo Pimentuan, joining us live all the way from New York City in the United States. Meanwhile, let's move on to the PBA, as Barangay Ginebra San Miguel is well aware that the final stretch of their elimination round campaign in the PBA Philippine Cup will be difficult. But Ginebra head coach Tim Cone says he is confident of his chances against any team in the league. Cone credits his Wards for putting up a better fight in their win against their Manila Classico rivals, the Magnolia Hotshots, Sunday 85-81. This keeps Ginebra in contention for a top 4 finish and a twice-to-beat advantage in the quarterfinals. The Gin Kings have two more elimination round games, and they will be facing the streaking TNT Tropang 5G this coming Sunday before wrapping up the LMs against the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. Here's Coach Tim discussing the gravity of these two remaining matchups.
A couple losses together would have been tough to get back into the hunt for the top 4, but this keeps us firmly in the hunt for the top 4. Still allows us to control our own destiny. We knew this was going to be a tough stretch and going to decide our playoff lives right here through this stretch. We were hoping to get the Morocco game. We fell short, but we still control our own destiny, although it's against really tough teams. They also control their own destiny. So it should be some really, really interesting down the stretch games as the conference closes. I like our group. I like our continuity. And I'll measure our team up with anybody. As Steven said, on any given night, we feel we can beat anybody. So, you know, it's really just trying to figure out a way to bring your A game every night. It's not easy, but, you know, if you can, we have a chance to beat anybody.
Well, happy Monday, sports fans. We've got an all-NBA lineup for you. In tonight's highlight reel, let's roll it. Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals. What a game. Ooh, what a lob. Mikal Bridges to Mitchell Robinson played a solid game yesterday. Basically a pick and roll with that finish. Bridges forced throwing it up, and Turner tried to help Bridges there, and it resulted to an alley-oop to Mitchell Robinson. Mikal and Mitchell combining for 23 points, 10 rebounds. Bridges also had 4 assists, all in a losing cause. Of course, the last game, Game 6, as Indiana wrapped things up. Okay, next, let's go to the Pacers, the winning team. Here's Hallie getting that screen from Shepard, another screen from Toppin, then the bounce to Obi Toppin for that rack attack. Obi, the former Knick. Really, that athleticism, agility, good pocket pass from Hallie to Obi. Take a look at that. Woo! Landry Shamet cannot do anything there against a very athletic Obi Toppin, who finished with 18.6 rebounds in Indiana's closeout Game 6 victory over the New York Knicks. There's no way they're going back to MSG. Finally, my boy, Hallie, roll it. Here's Hallie using that screen from Obi against Shamet from way downtown. Bang! 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 Big three from Hallie, with Reggie Miller there, of course, on the call. And Hallie knocking that one down. Yes, it's over. Take a look at that. Under a minute left. They were up 17, pretty much put away the ball game. Tyrese, 21.6 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 steals as the Pacers beat the Knicks, send them home in Game 6, 125-108. Indiana clinching its first finals berth since the year 2000. Remember then when Reggie Miller, those boys went to the finals against Lakers. Game 1 of the Pacers and the Thunder will take place this Friday in Oklahoma City. What a series. SGA against Hallie. Whew. Pacers, Thunder, 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. All the way to you back, Cheska.
And before we go, Filipino boxing icon Donito Donaire is making one last run at glory. The Filipino Flash is set to face Chile's Andres Campos for the interim WBA bantamweight title on June 14. The bout will take place in Buenos Aires, Argentina, as part of the WBA's annual KO to Drugs Festival. The 42-year-old Donaire is coming off a nearly 2-year layoff and back-to-back losses. His last fight was in July 2023, where he lost to Alexandro Santiago in a WBC bantamweight title clash. Donaire holds a record of 42 wins, 28 via knockout, and 8 losses. His opponent Campos has 17 wins, 6 via knockout, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Campos will gain another 4 pounds to face Donaire at bantamweight.
Happy for Donito. Well, I've known him way back in a different network that we used to be in. Ang tagal na. And then his wife, Rachel, also hosted a dinner for us in New York. So good luck to him. Great comeback. Page ko pala, no?
Same us.
Hindi ko nga sinabi na ikaw.
Okay
kasi... But good luck to Donito. Rooting for him, of course, always. And that's all from us tonight on a Monday. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Filipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Lituncalo. Thank you for watching. Happy Monday, everyone.